Today we're going to make fancy vittles for
our boyfriends.
Yeah, our boyfriends. They're coming for dinner later, so it's going to be like a romantic dinner. Like, it's really going to be pretty romantic. Yeah, impressive, and it's going to be like a big banquet and like a feast of food. I'm romantic anyway, you know. I'm a really romantic person. Like, one of my favourite things to do is to ask people like how they met, because I love hearing about the beginnings of love affairs. I love it, like, you know, because often it's something really normal, like something really normal has happened. Like, people are like, oh, I locked my bike to a lamppost, and then he locked his bike to a lamppost, and then ever since then our locks have been tangled, you know. Something like that. It's adorable. Because, like, no matter what's gone wrong in the relationship since the beginning, you know, like, even if really horrible stuff has happened, even if the girl is like, so I just had my 6th abortion and he's in jail for rob, you know, even if something has gone really badly wrong, still when you ask people about the beginning of their relationships, there's a little smile in their voice.
They're in love.
They're in love. Yeah, and I love the fact that, like, so often they happen on, like, just mundane, going about your daily life. And then all of a sudden, like, wham, you just fall in love, you know.
Listen, we really sentimental about that. So we went and gathered bluebells all around the
That's right.
And I came landing home with a big bunch of bluebells.
Yes, that's right.
Correct, absolutely.
Like, I've got a lot of the beginnings of those stories. Like, our cousin, right, she has this cat. The cat's name is Colonel John, and he was really sick. He was coughing up blood and all this, and so she brought him to the vet. And the vet was really funny, really lovely, loved animals. Boom, 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 yeah. And she fell in love with the vet, he fell in love with her. They got married. Now they live in like this ramshackle house in Leitrim somewhere, and she just makes brooches and things and sells them for like puppies' welfare. And Colonel John, her cat, got totally better, had kittens, everything's totally fine there. And it's weird because, like, I've got similar beginnings of stories. Like, twice in the past, I've had cats that have been coughing up blood, and I've brought them to the vet. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Who have we got here?
Well, this is Edie.
Pop her up there.
Yeah. She doesn't feel great.
Okay.
And the vet's been really nice, really funny, loved animals.
Yeah.
And has told me that the cats are full of tumours. You know.
Yeah.
And then after the second time that happened, I really had to look into pet insurance, because it was just costing me so much money, you know.
Expensive.
It's so bloody expensive. So you see there, it's like a similar beginning. Really different outcome.
Bye-bye.
Completely different. But what are we going to make?
We're going to make a whole salmon.
It's disgusting.
We're going to cook a whole Irish salmon, and I just think it's a lovely thing to have on the table, and it is very romantic with champagne and stuff. And we're going to serve it with
I like
radishes.
when it's in bits, in cutlets, you know.
Well, yeah.
Like in. I can't
Well,
look at
we're
it.
going to keep the head and tail on, and the little eye. I don't know what we'll put instead of the eye.
I'm ichthyophobic, you know, which means like it's like phobia. Fear. A fear of fish, but actually, yeah, it's a fear because it's not a phobia, because a phobia means it's illogical, but this is actually very logical. Because it started, I was 13, and we had this really athletic goldfish who would very often jump out of his tank. He was like almost Olympic, and he would jump out of his tank and then, like, kind of, how would you describe, like, shimmy along the carpet after me, staring at me, kind of leering. So ever since then I've hated fish, you know. Ugh. But we're still going to do a whole salmon, because Lily thought it would be, like, appropriate, and I'm willing to do that kind of thing. I'm willing to make those kind of sacrifices because I love my boyfriend.
That friendship was going to Limerick with a cargo of weed.
It's just like, you know the way you hear all this advice, like if you're a girl or I guess if you're like a gay man, you always hear advice like about like what men want, like what men want.
5 and 6 and 7 and 6, all guaranteed seats are right along this place.
But I don't know how valid any of it is. Like before, this really old lady, we were at I was at a christening in America, and America. Ooh, me showing off.
Fancy that.
And we were at a christening, and this really old lady like took me aside, and she was like, "Men love cocktail sausages," like as if like that was some kind of a key, you know, like a vital kind of a clue. And then another lady told me that men love vanilla. Anything to do with vanilla. They can't get enough of it. Vanilla. You know, as if like men are like these kind of robots, you know, and how you, the code to work them is like it involves pork products and manufactured scents or something. I did try out one of those cliches, and actually I think it is true. Because, you know, they say like men love women with a bit of mystery.
Yeah.
So I was in town one day, and in Dublin, and where I live, and I was walking around Dublin in my high-vis vest.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I'll see what I can do.
And Joe, my current boyfriend, saw me in my high-vis vest, and he told me afterwards, he told me he was thinking like, is she a builder or is she a cyclist? You know.
You didn't know?
No. Enigma. I was an enigma.
What are we talking about? Okay, good.
Me and Joe have been together for a good few years now, you know. And I mean, it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Sometimes people say like, oh, you run out of things to talk about, you know, if you're going out with somebody for a long time, you run out of things to talk about. But I don't think so. I think it's the opposite. Like, it's kind of like when, because like the more you know somebody, the more you have to talk about with them, you know. And I think that's brilliant. Like, I think that's really good. I think the same thing about like, you know, when people complain about living in a small town and they're like, oh, everybody knows everybody's business. But I'm like, yeah, amazing. Anyway, if you're worried about keeping the spice alive in a long-term relationship, this is what I would say too. I would say don't worry about it. Don't worry. Because all you have to do is constantly change your personality in tiny ways. You know? Like, for example, right, if your boyfriend, if your favourite breakfast is like scrambled egg on granary toast.
No.
Which mine actually is.
Favourite breakfast for the favourite girl, huh? No.
Then one morning, just throw it back in his face. And be like, I don't like that. I'm not into that breakfast anymore. He'll be quite hurt, you know, physically, like. It's not my favourite anymore. Changed my mind.
You're just constantly surprising me, aren't you?
Is there jam there or something? You know, he'd be... It's actually good because it's like you're being spontaneous. This is my new favourite.
Okay, jam and toast.
Blackberry jam.
Blackberry jam.
And he'd be able to tell his friends then, you know, he'd be like, yeah, we've been together a long time, but it's like being with a new woman. She used to be passive-aggressive, now she's just aggressive, you know. Little things. This is what kind of lettuce is this again?
Butterhead.
Oh yeah. Butterhead. It's my nickname when I was small. Well, Butterhead was one of my nicknames. And it wasn't because I loved to eat this lettuce so much. If you get my drift. It looked like my head was made out of lettuce. Because I looked like I was made out of butter when I was small. But things have changed.
These are called butter spades.
But like that's the thing though, even if you're in a happy relationship now and like everything is fine and like now you're in like a happy, lovey relationship, sometimes like, oh, it's so annoying, but the inner critic comes back to haunt me, even when I'm having like a lovely time with Joe, you know, and the inner critic can still come sneaking along and trying to knock back my confidence.
This is the latest Andrew Bujalski flick. It's brilliant. You're really gonna like it, I think. It should be great, Charlie.
Andrew Bujalski? You wouldn't know him from Hong Kong Phooey, you daft bint. Look at you. Count the roof tiles, well, don't you? Because you're not going to understand this movie. Subtitles? You don't even know what a subtitle is. If you came to the cinema to read, you'd take a magazine, wouldn't you? Preferably a magazine with a celebrity adopting an African baby with an ice cream or some rubbish. That's what goes through your head, isn't it? Who's the celebrity in this film? Some fella that speaks Italian? You silly cow. Joe's a smart bloke, and you're someone who likes the taste of buttery corn pop.
But okay, so are you ready to go with
Yeah.
Chile Reeds?
The chilies, because our boyfriends are
From Chile.
hot.
They're oh yeah. In our opinion, but it's so subjective. So when you see them coming in later, don't just remember it's subjective, just like comedy.
Your life.